A year or two ago, I was visiting Chicago, and down in the center of Chicago, very close to that famous kind of stainless steel sculpture of the beam, there's also another installation. If you can imagine, it's like a very tall brick wall. It's actually a fountain, so it has water running down the front of it. And projected onto the fountain are the faces of random people who are being picked out from the crowd, who just happen to be around. In other words, you could quietly be sitting there minding your own business and suddenly look up and see your face, and perhaps the face of the person you're talking to, projected hugely onto this screen of running water. I want to use that as an idea for a jump-off point to talk about a coincidence that happens this week. The Torah portion that we're going to be reading is the parasha of Rabbi, which begins with this stirring invocation, Rabbi, see, I have placed before you today blessing and curse, with the exhortation, as often happens in the book of Deuteronomy, that we should choose the blessing and not the curse. Later in the Parsha, we find another general exhortation that we should do what is good and what is right in the sight of God. If we take that thought and the idea that this weekend we're also moving into Rosh Chodesh Elul, the month that is the run-up to the High Holy Days, we perhaps can realize that this is a very good time to monitor ourselves in terms of whether we really are doing what is good and what is right, and what it is about ourselves that perhaps we want to change, or pay attention to at least, over the High Holy Day season. Would we be proud to see our behavior projected onto that screen for other people to see? Or do we need to start making amendments so that if we were to see ourselves suddenly projected on that screen, we would be proud of what we saw, or at least be able to look at it and say, you know what, I'm working on that, and I believe it's going somewhere. So let's think about the title of the Parsha, Rabbi, in two ways. First of all, what would we like to see on that screen in terms of our behavior? And secondly, what do we need to see in ourselves as we make that journey towards the High Holy Days? That was your Torah in 2.